evening and welcome to round 4 of the HART Sapphire series. I'm joining commentary tonight with Dominic Day.
It is. I know. How
Dom.
weird is it, Simi?
Great to have you here today. We're live streaming from the Queensland State Netball Centre for round 4. Like we said, it's the last game of the round between the Carina Leagues Club Tigers and the QUT Wildcats.
And I believe that the QT Wildcats are sitting second on the ladder at the moment, with Carina Leagues Club Tigers sitting possibly... Oh, here we are. Okay, so Carina Leagues Club Tigers are actually third on the ladder, with QT Wildcats sitting fourth. Obviously, their points are very similar. So with Sapphire Series, 10 points for a win.
Yeah, 10 points for a win. And what's really interesting with that, the Wildcats' position is that they actually had a bye last week, so they didn't get any points. So this ladder, as we see it, is up to date with all of the results so far this weekend. As we said, this is the last game of the round, with the Brisbane North Cougars sitting on top spot and the Ipswich Jets not far behind in second spot.
Yeah. And obviously this is the last game of the round, as Sim said. So we're looking obviously to the previous games of the round 4. So Cougars getting on top of the Rays 61-28. The Jets getting a win over the Bull Sharks by 10 points, 53-43. And obviously we have our game tonight. So looking forward to a close game. Hopefully, Simi.
Yeah, definitely. I think this will be a great game. As we said, they're close on the ladder, but they both have Suncorp netball players returning. For the Wildcats, we see Gemma Maimai there on shot. And for the Tigers tonight, they've got Jack Russell returning back to the club to play. I think both athletes actually have played over the last few rounds, so it'll be great to see their impact on the game. But also, the way that both teams are travelling at this time in the season.
Yeah, very close in position on the ladder, and I believe that probably Jack and Gemma will probably play against each other tonight. Maybe we'll see a glimpse of a few elbows flying against each other.
Never.
Netball's a non-contact sport, isn't it?
No, absolutely. So if we have a look here at the line for the Tigers.
So goal shooter will be Amy Somerville. Goal attack will be Alexia Baker. Wing attack will be Katie Walker. Centre, as we said, Jackie Russell. Wing defence is Claire Haig. Goal defence, Lily Gribble. Goalkeeper, Madison Cooley. And for subs is Alana Schuster, Leah Middleton, Maddie Grant, and Shelley Rosanoff. And coach, Tracy Bruce. Brewster.
So for the Wildcats tonight, goal shooter will be Alicia Tahara, goal attack Riley Batchelor-Dor, wing attack Gemma Maimai, centre Halita Vava, wing defence Rachel Fanana, goal defence Danielle Taylor, and goalkeeper Aldora Tuala. In subs tonight, Keisha Grant, Stephanie Barristow, and Harriet Nicholson, coached by Paula Stewart. Both teams just finishing off their final bits of the warm-up, with the
Katie Walker having her last say, I'm sure.
Yeah, absolutely. Katie Walker, the captain of the Tigers, and also the namesake of the inaugural HART Sapphire Series MVP.
It is, yeah.
So a fantastic...
well deserving as well.
Yeah, definitely. Katie's a stalwart of our game, been playing for many seasons. So it's great for her to get recognition. So all players, as part of the HART Sapphire Series, are eligible for the Katie Walker Sapphire.
Yeah, and I'm willing to take bribes if anyone wants to pay me if they want their MVP points to go up. So obviously centre pass first to the Carina Leagues Tigers. Working it easily and quite fast there as well. Obviously going from Jack Russell to Katie Walker there.
Definitely. We'll see the experience of both the centre court for the Tigers tonight.
Early miss there by Somerville, unfortunately. Great rebounds there by Taylor.
So we've got Taylor and Tuala connecting there in the circle. I'm really looking forward to seeing what Vava and Mai do in the centre court for the Wildcats tonight. I think
they probably haven't played a lot together. That was a great tip there by Alicia, getting the tall hands over the pass of Cooley there. Umpire just setting the penalty.
So the
great. Sorry, Sim.
No, you're right. I was going to say Tigers back in attack. Still 0-0. So it'll be interesting to see which one of these teams. Both had an opportunity at goal so far. So which one will put
settle
the first
in
points?
Great pass there by Jackie Russell to Baker. Hopefully Baker has a bit more confidence this game. I watched her and commentated her last game, and she was a bit hesitant on the shot. Was looking for, obviously, Somerville in most of her set shots, but hopefully she has that confidence to go to the post.
Yeah, definitely. She's a great shot, Lexi, when she turns and backs herself in. So, likewise, great shot there by Tahara.
So we're looking at 1-1 so far in the round 4 of the Sapphire series between the Wildcats and the Tigers. Oh, great tip there by Hilita. It's good to see her back after having two children.
Yeah, 2 children now.
I know, and she looks better than me, and I haven't had any. You look also well for having 2 kids yourself, Simi.
Thank you, but I'm not on court. Speaking of kids, I will give a shout out to Lauren Forbes, the Queensland 17s coach, who gave birth to her first daughter this week, Lucy. I know Loz has been following the Sapphire, so hey Loz, if you're watching.
And hubby Brad didn't have to deliver it since he's a paramedic?
No, I believe he didn't.
He would have been freaking out, I'm sure. Great shooter pass there by Lexi to Amy. Taylor's been caught out of play.
So a contrast in defensive circles tonight. We've got the Wildcats, who have a fairly experienced defensive line with Tuala and Taylor. The Tigers, on the other hand, have 2 youngins. Lucy Gribble played for the Queensland 17s this year, and Mads Cooley played for the 19s. So be interesting to see how that goes as the game pans out.
Yeah, definitely.
However, in saying that, both Gribble and Cooley have been up to the task with all shooting combinations this year. So,
unlucky there on my offensive contact, unfortunately. Wildcats were going to go for, obviously, 2 up with that turnover with the hellball of Tigers off their centre pass. So I feel like both teams are trying to feel their way in this game. Obviously, both haven't found their rhythm as of yet. Obviously, both coaches of both respective teams will be working to encourage them to find their feet.
Yeah, definitely. Find their feet and find their flow. Great shot there by Bachelador. Another young and on court for the Wildcats tonight. It's great to see, Domi, being a Queensland underage and Queensland Fusion player, to see some of these youngins out on court tonight. Bachelador, Gribble, Cooley.
It just kind of goes to show that obviously the young girls that are watching or that aspire to be at this level is to obviously go through that rhythm and that flow of the underage. A footwork call there possibly by umpire.
Yeah, I think
so. Go through that underage and then obviously work your way up. In Netball Queensland, we do have quite a good platform for the younger girls to work their way up. Great shot there by Lexi. That's the confidence that she needs.
Definitely.
Big high five to her offsider and Amy.
So both teams don't have a lot of options off this centre pass off that first phase, that first pass usually. It's probably not getting off as quickly as what they would be used to or what they'd like, which shows the great defensive pressure that both teams are applying. But I think it's something that I'm sure both coaches would want to improve. It's better by the Tigers going through the back door.
Yeah. And obviously, Mai being at wing attack there, she needs to really stamp her dominance. She's a great wing attack, and I would be telling my goal attack to get off my tail and let me have the centre pass and see if I can do my thing. And I'm sure she'll be talking to her goal attack there and letting her know that she does have the speed and the agility to do that.
Definitely.
We've had a rolling sub in Middleton coming on for Madison Cooley, I believe. How do you find the rolling sub, Sim?
Yeah, I actually don't mind them. However, I think you do need, they're something that you need to learn to use effectively. You don't necessarily want to use them just for the sake of it.
Yeah.
I think it's a great opportunity to turn, change things up if you need to.
Yeah.
But also there's always the fear of momentum.
Yeah.
And not wanting to influence or affect that too much. But
Yeah.
from a coaching perspective, I've really enjoyed it. It's been a challenge.
Just looking at that overcooked pass there to Claire Haig, unfortunately. Good backup there by Claire, but didn't allow the ball to obviously go out contested. Sorry. Leah a little bit too eager there. So Alicia being so tall in that circle, Lily Gribbles doing a wonderful job in getting her feet around, and obviously as that pass goes over the baseline, getting her feet around and really confusing the space for the feeders of the Wildcats.
Yeah, definitely. And having a stationary target like Tahara, probably need the other options to be on the move.
Yeah.
But they weren't in that case, which made it much easier to confuse the space there for the Tigers.
Oh, both shooters to the ball there. Probably needed one to the ball and one to maybe the top of the circle. I believe Amy Summerall is one of the highest percentage shooters in the competition at the moment. She's doing, Jack Russell's on the ground.
Russell's having
a lie down?
Yeah.
She's probably tired.
Another turnover there from the Wildcats, just not being able to get that final connection into Tahara.
That was a great releasing pressure pass by Jackie Russell. Looked over the mess right down to Katie Walker in the corner of the mid-third. Fortunately couldn't convert the goal. Probably too many Wheaties, I think, from Dora there, unfortunately.
Been quite a few turnovers in this first bit of the game, which is quite unusual, I think, for both of these teams. But like you said before, I think they're still trying to find their flow and find their rhythm a little bit.
Yeah.
It's indicated by the score. We've had almost just under 10 minutes, only 12 goals have been scored for the game, or for the quarter so far. Great.
That's a great block by Dora there. She's probably been watching the volleyball players around us. Elevation was out of this world. And I believe that this game was predicted as the match of the round as well, between two obviously hotly contested teams as in Tigers and Wildcats.
Yeah, definitely. I think the Wildcats tonight are missing one of their defender, Lenora Missa, who's over at Liverpool playing for Samoa in the World Cup at the moment. But I think both of their defenders are doing a great job at the moment.
That was a great move there by Gemma Maimai. Really obviously took the front cut and then actually rolled as well to open out to the space of the ball. Unfortunately, the miscommunication between Jackie Russell and Amy Summerall.
Yeah, both were there and both decided to
have a stab at the ball, I guess.
Yeah.
Once again, great footwork by Lily Gribble. I'm really excited to see her against, obviously, the tall shooter and Alicia. That movement around the shooter is really kind of her asset, I guess, to this game.
Yeah, definitely. Lily has got great footwork and great elevation.
She's quite a tall girl as well, being in the circle there.
Daughter of Luke Gribble, former Australian basketballer. So definitely has
got some height,
some good height and good genes.
We weren't obviously blessed with those genes, were we, Simi?
Not the height one, unfortunately.
Great feed there by Katie Walker.
Yes.
Oh, well done, Dora.
Tuala, fantastic. Switch of play, come through and take the ball really cleanly, which is great.
And she'll only get better with time, Dora. She's actually come back from living in New Zealand, I believe, for possibly 12 to 24, well, a year or 2 years, possibly. So she didn't actually play in our league last year. So as her, obviously, confidence and her match play fitness improves, she'll only improve.
Yeah, definitely. But she's a Queensland underage junior. Played with yourself, Domi.
She did.
So, yeah, like you said, it's great to see her back on court at this level. Definitely shows that she's more than capable to mix it on this court. And if she's only going to get better, that's great for the Wildcats and scary for the other teams.
I believe we have some young supporters in the crowd here. I just saw they did something with the Wildcats symbol, or I believe they're from Jimboomba. I think that those colours there. So good to see some of the young girls coming and supporting on a Saturday night.
Definitely. Speaking of young girls, it looks like we've had a rolling stub for the Tigers, and Alana Schuster's taken the court at wing defence, replacing Claire Haig.
And Maddie Cooley's back on.
Mads Cooley's back on at goalkeeper. Thought Tigers wanting to mix it up a little bit, being down by a couple, seeing what they can do. Perhaps Lily Gribble, we thought was doing a great job, but sometimes the substitution isn't because you're doing anything wrong. It's might be a coach's decision to change it up.
Yeah, and it's the flow of the game as well. We see that obviously Wildcats have jumped out to a 3-goal lead now with two and a bit to go. That's the movement there by Gemma Maimai. Speed and agility by her.
Yeah, definitely.
She'll be able to run. Oh, well done, Jackie Russell there. Oh, that's unfortunate.
Yeah, unlucky a footwork call, but it was a great contest on the ball. It's better patience there to connect with Tahara.
Great tussle there by obviously Jackie Russell and Halida. Both, obviously, Halida being a former Firebird herself before having her 2 children, and Jack Russell being in the fold of the Firebirds before moving on to the Lightning this year as well as last year.
Yeah, definitely. Great matchup tonight.
Both play obviously a different role in the centre. Jack Russell's obviously a hard to the ball, hard to everything really. Halida plays a more off set kind of defensive style, long limbs, really long running style, where Jack Russell's a bit of a short, sharp, nippy player.
Yep. So Tigers have been able to draw it back to just being down by 2 and they're back in possession. So they really want to make this shot to get them back in within 1 going into the second quarter.
Oh, that's a hell ball. Just making sure that the umpire can count to 3.
Great,
oh, well done.
Great cover by Danielle Taylor there to create that hell ball.
That was a great contest by Schuster against Mai.
Fantastic shot there by Riley Batchelador at range.
Oh, well done, Maddie Cooley, getting the tip there. They'll have about a second to have a shot.
Wildcats in a possession.
Be interested to see what they do. Oh. So we go into the first quarter break. Wildcats leading the Tigers 14-11. How did you find that quarter there, Simi?
Look, I think it took both teams a while to find their rhythm and find their flow, but certainly the second half of that first quarter, they probably started to find that a little bit more. The Wildcats were able to make the most of the opportunities that they had and which is why I think they're up by these 3 goals. But in saying that, I think the game is still really close, and the Tigers will probably be ruining kind of those opportunities that they miss. But it's early days. It's only the end of the first quarter.
It is. We have a lot of netball to go in this round 4 of the HART Sapphire series. Obviously, Tracy Brees talking to her troops there in the West, the Tigers, sorry. And we'll just go off to a break, so join us back here at the Queensland State Netball Centre in a minute. Welcome back to the round 4 of the HART Sapphire series between the Carina Leagues Club Tigers and the QT Wildcats. Joining me again, obviously, is Simi. So, obviously, going into this second quarter, what do you expect by both teams, Sim?
Look, I think we've seen a change up here in the Tigers attack line, which has made it, I think clear that they want to get ball into their shooters as quickly as possible. I think Schuster in at wing attack does just provide a little bit more speed and a little bit more dynamic movement, which hopefully will help the Tigers to connect with their goalers. I think we've seen Jackie Russell push back into the wing defence again just to create a bit more defensive pressure against the Wildcats.
I think she was a little bit confused though. She had the centre bit more in her back, but a wing defence bib as well. So a little bit confused by Jackie Russell, but she's got the wing defence bib on and she's ready to go.
Definitely. So unsure there whether that was a missed shot by Riley Batchelor or whether she was actually trying to pass it to Tahara.
Oh, well done, Dora. Unfortunate. Couldn't keep her mitts on it.
No, but it's great that she came out and had a go. That will put some doubt in the Tigers' mind moving forward if she is willing to come out and have a go at those ones.
Yeah, it always obviously put two options into my head when I was as a wing attack kind of driving into the pocket when a goalkeeper would come out and hunt. I do like my ponytail and I always used to get it chopped off when the goalkeeper came out to have a hunt. I was about to say, let's see, have a shot.
Yes.
With that confidence. Here she goes. She'll have another one.
So Tuala asked to stand out of play for that one.
Umpire down this end here. Obviously, her whistle's in her mouth a little bit with the defenders by both teams, so they'll have to obviously adjust to that. Don't want to be put out of play the whole time. Oh,
no, definitely.
Great cut there by Momo.
Yeah, and a great ball there by Vava, willing to give it. She saw the space and backed Mai to come through and have a go.
Oh. Well done, tip by Maddie Cooley.
Yeah, it was a good tip.
A really good positional switch there by Middleton and Cooley. Obviously, Middleton's got a little bit of height on Cooley, so she took, obviously, Alicia and the taller shooter. But then Cooley obviously attacked the ball as well, so really well done to the Tigers defenders. Having a bit of a cuddle under the post. Oh, a close miss there by Somerville.
Great tip there by Taylor, though. Couldn't get hands to the ball, but was able to touch it out to not give the Tigers that second shot under the post.
That was a good setup by Wildcats mid-court. Obviously, Vava pushing Katie Walker into the top of the circle. Danielle Taylor was positioned at the kind of floating around the top as well. So they could have had a pick there.
Good take there by Rachel Fanana. So it's back even now. Great, great patience and vision there by Vava to allow those options to kind of happen in front of her and then to find Tahara under the post.
Yeah, and Bachelor Door was pretty much the tribute there to take two defenders out of play.
Danielle Taylor's having a great game so far. She's putting lots of pressure on Lexi Baker and she's always putting herself in the contest, which is great to see.
Oh, I was about to say, Amy's wanting the ball over the top there. Well done, Lexi. Bit of a shuffle shot. Always loved a shuffle shot back in my day of goal attack. So Mai's really dominating that centre pass now. She must have heard us in her ear, telling her to kick out the goal attack and take that centre pass for herself.
Yeah, definitely.
Oh,
great feed
great
there.
eyes, Barbara. And great shot. She's on fire tonight, Riley Bachelor.
Yeah, she's got great accuracy and terrific range for a young player. Is not afraid to go to the post.
Oh, and Schuster's just popped her toe over the line of the goal circle. Oh. I think Katie Walker's got an elbow to the temple.
She's tough.
How many kids she's got? Like 4?
Yeah.
She's
although she may
tough.
have blood, actually. She might have got a bigger knock than what I...
Yeah, I think it was an elbow to the temple.
Oh. She is tough, so it does take a lot for her to go down. So
we've got courtside paramedics, so I won't have to leave your sim. So I'll stay up here. Hopefully she'll get the all clear to come back. Give a bit of a wipe. Umpire's just checking blood for the ball, on the ball as well as the court. Deciding where the penalty will be set once we get this game underway. And the wipes come out, so she must have had a bit of blood.
She must have got some blood.
Lexi's elbow being a little bit pointy. Cut the skin there.
Friendly fire, unfortunately.
Yeah.
Well, hopefully, Katie is okay and is able to return to the court later on. It's this injury time though gives both teams an opportunity to regroup and chat. As part of the Sapphire series this year, all teams have an opportunity to a tactical timeout, 1 per half. So this is probably a bonus in some ways, not a tactical timeout as such, but it is an opportunity to have a chat and regroup.
Yeah, and obviously the tactical timeout is an asset for all teams. They did take out our tactical timeouts last year, and a lot of teams obviously not regretted it, but found it difficult to obviously change the dynamic of play, and really you just had to call timeout and obviously have to be substituted off. So I'm very unfortunate. obviously the trying to wipe off the blood is probably a little bit harder than first thought. We might see if we could get some shooting stats for the game, possibly put you on the spot. So shooting stats, obviously, for the Carina League's Tigers. For goal shooter, obviously, for Amy Somerville, she's been hyper percentage. We're just trying to work out a bit. I think I'll put them on the spot, Sim.
They might do it back, Dommy, so just be careful.
So Carina is 16 from 20 overall, as with the Wildcats there from 16 from 18. 17 from 18. Katie Walker, I think, is getting a round of applause.
She's returned to the bench. She doesn't want any fuss. She's giving the thumbs up to her team.
She's all good.
She'll be hating having to sit out, but obviously
she'll probably have to change her dress as well with the blood rule.
Great to see her smiling though and back on court or back on the bench at the very least.
She's probably going.
She's running, so that's a good sign. But I don't think she ever stops running. So
yeah, that's it. She was running in a straight line, that's for sure. She's probably going to wipe her hands with all the blood. Definitely. All right, we're back in, obviously, play with round 4 of the HART Sapphire series. Oh, ooh, unlucky there. So
an out-of-court call there by Amy Somerville. I think from those stats, though, Dom, that we just heard about, one of the Tigers... the Tigers, if you have the centre bid, maybe you curse tonight, because Jackie Russell had a fall, but Wildcats back in position. But I think... from the stats that we were given just previously, the Tigers actually having more shots at goal, attempts at goal, but not being able to put them through. The Wildcats, on the other hand, showing that when they do get the ball, they're into the circle, they're very accurate. They've only missed 1 goal so far at goal. So,
yeah, and obviously both shooting ends are very, very different. Tigers obviously going for a shorter, more moving, mobile shooting end, while the Wildcats obviously have that tall shooter in Tahara, and obviously that moving goal attack in Bachelor Door. So very different team dynamics.
Yeah, definitely.
Danielle Taylor is riding Lexi Baker like a horse at the moment. Oh, great shot there by Amy Somerville. Not letting her get an inch on court, so really good to see.
Yeah, definitely. I think that pressure that she applies at the front helps Talala at the back.
There's a great feed. Oh, step. Yep. Do I have white on? Oh, I should get a whistle soon.
Tommy, maybe next game you can be an umpire instead of a commentator.
You're trying to kick me out already.
No, not at all. You can do both jobs.
No. Oh, great drive there by Lexi Baker over the baseline. 3 seconds there, call. Jackie Russell just checking.
So the Wildcats have pushed it out to 2 again, but it's still really tight, obviously.
Unlucky there by Mai. Good back up there by Maddie Cooley. Great back up there by wing defence and goal defence of Tigers. Obviously, Hagen, Middleton.
Yeah, making sure that they're that reset option to take the pressure off that front line. Oh, well done there by Vava. Great tip around the circle.
I think Somerville's getting in a nice position. She just needs to open up just that fraction earlier and really sight the ball, because she is making room for herself as well as obviously Baker. But she's just turning a fraction too late, and either obviously the passer's missing her or the ball is getting swung, and then she obviously has to rearrange her body and go again. That's a better centre pass there by Carina League's Club Tigers. Oh,
yeah, much more direct, but unfortunately not being able to stick that last pass. The Wildcats, show that when they get the ball into their circle, the goal is they're rewarding them with the goal. So their job really is to get the ball in, which they've done really well on that transition play. And Tahara rewards them with a goal.
That's a really quite a good turn and just a quick release there by Bachelor Door. I think it's time to change up a bit of defensive style back in the Carina Tigers defensive end in Middleton and Cooley. The ball seems to be going quite quickly into their shooters. Great shot by Somerville.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see what the Tigers do here. They're starting to find Tahara just that little bit easier now than what they had been previously.
It's great to see so many people down here at the Queensland State Netball Centre to obviously support the two teams. I think this is probably the biggest crowd that I've been witness to in the whole HART Sapphire series.
Yeah, definitely. Up at the Sunny Coast last Sunday night, they had quite a good crowd. So it's great to see people coming up and watching, this new league. And it's also, not only are they getting a look at, up-and-coming talent in Queensland, they're also getting, a look at some of the current Suncorp Super Netball players at the moment, as well as some of the season campaigners that have been, playing at this level for many years. And it's great to see all of that, come together, and we're getting some great games as a result of that.
Oh, not wholly within. Yep.
Contact call there by.
I'll just make up my own rules.
It looked like he blew it quite quickly, so
yeah.
It did look like it was something off the.
Yeah, I thought
centre.
Vava's toe was just on the line, so obviously you have to have one foot wholly within the centre circle. And you're obviously allowed to put that other foot outside the circle these days, but I thought she had a toe on the line.
Great cut there.
Yeah. So Claire Haig is quite a nippy, fast player as well, so she'll match Mai for speed. It's just obviously Mai's agility and that pass and cut that she just displayed there. It's probably second to none. Oh.
Jackie Russell not realising that she's actually in possession of the centre pass.
Halida, I would have just grabbed it and run, played on. So a bit of a positional switch here by the two shooters of the Tigers. Obviously Lexi going in and holding her space, and Somerville obviously moving about. Great shot there by Amy.
Enjoyed by the crowd. They're starting to get into the game.
How about a Mexican wave? Can we kind of signal the crowd to do a Mexican wave or something like that?
So we see Lily Gribbles back on the court, in at goalkeeper. Helped create that turnover then.
Oh. Great settle there by Lexi Baker. Side of the post, pretended that she was going to have a shot, and then went out to her mid-court. And here we go, tactical timeout by the Wildcats.
First one of the half. It's only just under 3 minutes to go in this first half, and the Wildcats have called the first tactical timeout. So, they're out by 3, probably just wanting to regroup and think about what they need to do for this last little bit going into half time.
And that last kind of, I guess, 2 passages of play were quite scrappy, so bit of a ping-pong match at the moment. So obviously Paula Stewart will want to kind of push out this lead and make sure that they're executing their game plan and goals as well. And obviously Trace Bruce is wanting a little bit more from her players. They get on a run and then kind of lose it a little bit, unfortunately.
Yeah, look, I think they have created themselves lots of opportunities, and they've been able to capitalise on some of them. But they probably, given the players and the experience in the Tigers group, they probably would expect more and will be wanting more from both themselves and the group. So I think they'll be talking about what they need to do just to make sure that they're getting the ball into those goalers, and that Amy and Alexi are, confident to go to the post.
And I love how the wing attack and goal attack go up to each other and have a discussion about what they can improve on, what they're doing well. That's a sign of a really close-knit team, when you can have that straight-up discussion with your players.
Yeah, definitely. Really important, the goal attack and wing attack off the centre pass in particular, to make sure that they've got that strong unit responsible for that, for at least, that first bit of the centre pass where possible.
That was a great cut there by Schuster. Really threaded the needle with the ball as well.
It's offside call there, it looks like. So Tigers back in possession, but the Wildcats are making them have to work really hard, so they're having to earn any ball that they get.
Smile there by Jackie Russell. Offers a bit of contest.
Yeah, look, Fanana caught out of play there, but certainly I think Paula would be happy that her centre court are contesting around that circle edge, making sure they're putting lots of pressure on the feeders.
They're definitely not out of play too much, because I haven't even noticed both Fanana as well as Vave out of play. Oh, well done, Leah Middleton there.
Yeah, it was a great contest, and I think
she's hot tonight, Bachelor
she
Door.
She is Bachelor Door. I'd like to see her take the cut a bit stronger in when Tahara's doubled and both Middleton and Gribble are back. They really need her to take the hard cut in to try and draw a defender or open up Tahara.
Yeah, instead of kind of just hanging outside.
Hanging around the side, just, it's a no-nothing pass, really. And, Bachelor Door more than has the capability to do that.
Just need to look over the mess a little bit, Wildcats. I believe, there's a positional swap again between Gribble as well as Middleton. So really looking over straight through her legs, unfortunately.
Unlucky there for Gribble, but very lucky for Bachelor Door.
Right place, right time. Oh, well done, Leah Middleton. Those long arms of hers.
Yeah, long arms.
Oh, well done, Vava. Outside arm there.
Yeah, and Jack Russell probably getting a little bit caught up in the call she didn't receive instead of just playing the ball that she had.
She was pleading for the umpire. Oh, and we're going to have a caution there as well.
Looks like Lily Gribble have been given a caution.
For intimidation over the eyes. Bit of a windscreen wiper action.
It's 15 seconds to go here, so the Tigers were really wanting to score this goal to try and reduce the margin that the Wildcats have at the moment. Amy Summerwell backing herself for the shot.
Sweet shot there.
So that brings us to half-time in the third game of round 4, Tigers versus Wildcats. We see the Wildcats out to a 4-goal lead going into half-time. I think both teams found their rhythm a lot, particularly in that second quarter. The Tigers obviously had an injury substitution with Katie Walker having to leave the court due to look like a blood injury.
Getting distracted by the young talent that's coming on between Jim Boomber as well as Metro. I believe they're having a bit of a halftime entertainment game, which will be exciting.
Yeah, fantastic. We saw State Age wrap up earlier this week, played out at Pine Rivers. So, fantastic to see the young players of our sport out on court, both here tonight and over the last 5 days out at Pine.
Yeah. Did you get down to play in the mud, Simi?
No, I did not this year, no.
Stayed at home, hey?
Yes.
I heard it was quite an eventful competition, and it's obviously good to see that the young talent is still up and coming in, obviously, our state ages.
Yeah, definitely. Quite a a big tournament for very young athletes, but a great platform and a great kind of breeding ground for athletes as part that will be playing here tonight as part of the HART Sapphire series. I'm sure all of them have taken part in state age in some capacity over the years. So again, great to see them out on court.
So we're obviously looking at the Wildcats. Oh, we were looking at the Wildcats team with obviously Paula Stewart addressing her team as well as Hillary being assistant coach. And obviously it's probably a good time to obviously pay tribute to our major sponsors in HART Sport, Mizuno, Mount Franklin, Legassic, Powerade. So thank you for all those sponsors. Without you guys, we probably wouldn't see the obviously HART Sapphire series really be up and running.
Yeah, definitely. Legassic being the sponsor of the Katie Walker Sapphire. So if we have a look now at the stats for this first half, we see that the centre pass conversion from both teams, obviously higher for the Wildcats, but quite low for the Tigers in terms of what they would be used to and would expect. Shooting percentage shows similar to what we talked about during the injury timeout, is that the Wildcats are shooting at 90%. But the Tigers not doing too bad at 85%. But certainly I think when you look at the times that they've gone to goal, that would be reflective of why the Wildcats are up by those 3 goals at the moment. Is there anything else that stands out to you, Dom?
Really that turnover conversion percentage, 57% in this league, I guess, is probably pretty poor. Trace Bruce will definitely not be happy with that from her team, so she'll be really encouraging her girls to really treasure the ball when they do get those turnovers. And as you can see, obviously Wildcats have got 3 more turnovers than Tigers as well, so really if the Tigers can obviously convert those goals, they will be in a chance with this here. So, and obviously the last stat there we can see is that the Wildcats have won 2 quarters of this game, so with obviously winning the quarter you get 2 points. And like as we were discussing before, a overall win you get 10 points, so that's why we see Cougars being on top of the ladder with I believe it was 57 points already with 4 rounds of play already underway. So that's a huge grant, I guess.
Yeah, definitely. So it does definitely show that you have to, that it's not just the game that it's important to win, it's also the quarters. So, going into half-time now, it'll be really interesting to see what the second half presents. So we'll take a short break and we'll be back for the second half in just a minute. And we are coming back into the second half of the Carina League's Tigers versus the QT Wildcats. As we come into the second half, the Wildcats are up by 4 at the moment. They were able to pull away just at the end of the second quarter there to stretch that lead out to 4. Domi, what did you like about the first half from both teams?
Both teams, I believe they did well in about, I would say, I'm going to be really critical, unfortunately. It's because I'm retired now, I can say what I want. 10 minutes of the 15 minutes quarters. So obviously both teams are looking to push out that really dominant 15 minutes of the quarter instead of kind of having patches here and there. I believe Mai came into our own in that quarter there with obviously working the centre court with Vava. They work quite well together, obviously being two of the... They obviously played together when they were underage as well, so they would know their play inside out. Obviously, shout out to Bachelor Door shooting down the house tonight, so really liking her as well. With the Carina Tigers, I think they need to change up a little bit in their defensive end, just with obviously Bachelor Door and Tahara really owning that space at the moment. So obviously going into the second half.
Yeah, we'll see what both teams bring. In the Wildcats front line, there doesn't appear to be any changes, nor in the Tigers defence line. From what we saw going into half time, this was the way both teams are lined up.
Yeah, and at the obviously other end, we have a change up. Katie Walker's obviously back on court, but didn't last long. And then obviously Maddie Grant's come on at goal shooter, as well as Amy Somerville has gone out to goal attack. So we'll see how that dynamic plays out.
Yes.
So obviously that conversion rate will be slightly elevated with Wildcats from that turnover there. I think Jack Russell just let the ball go, unfortunately.
Great shot there by Bachelor again, right on the edge of the circle, but willing to turn and back herself for the shot. And why not when you're shooting like that tonight?
Exactly right. So Maddie Grant will bring a different dynamic to that shooting end. Quite a tall... she doesn't look strong, but she's decisively is strong in her body. She obviously was at the Brisbane North Cougars last year under the watchful eye of Paddy Farrell. So she'll obviously get some confidence in playing here. Great pass there by Vava.
Yeah,
her
Vava was able to look over the mess, right, and find Tahara there.
Oh, that could have just been called advantage. But
Dominique,
did I say that out loud?
You're in commentary tonight. You're not umpiring.
I'm sorry, all umpires. I do appreciate you guys. I just get a bit of white line fever, I think, and I don't think of the things I say before they come out.
She was the same on court, trust me. So.
Worse on court, I think. I'm sure you were the same, Simi.
I wasn't actually. The
here we go, Princess. All right, back to the game. So Tahara's shot at goal. The Gribbles unfortunately out of play.
So the Wildcats have been able to extend this lead by 7. So the Tigers will obviously been trying to, bridge that gap. Grant started really well. She's taken the first 2 shots for the Tigers in this quarter.
And that was a great drive there by Katie Walker. She gave and went quite quickly as well. So that's been a feature of her game for many, many years. There we go. Vava again.
Her vision tonight.
Faked one way and Bachelor Door read it and then went back to the post. Katie Walker has a crack at it as well and works off. So we're getting a little bit more exciting in this game. But obviously Wildcats still out to a convincing lead by 6 early in the third quarter. Unfortunately their offensive contact by my.
Yeah, my contact, unfortunately, but it allows the Tigers an opportunity to, reduce the goal by another one.
It's really opening up. Oh, unfortunately, Maddie Grant can't convert. Oh.
Jack Russell to the rescue.
Welcome, Jack Russell, to the game. Yeah, it's really opening up in this quarter. Obviously, people have their eyes down, and the attackers are seeing that and really threading the ball in. I believe we had some of our under-19 girls away down at the AIS for Aussie Camp this week.
Yes, definitely. None that are involved in the game tonight, but we had 5 Queenslanders that were down at the AIS with the under-19 Australian squad. So in preparation, really, it's the first, I think, kind of go at getting ready for the World Youth Cup in a couple of years. That'll be played in Fiji. So, great.
Hometown, Simi.
Yeah.
You can tell them where to go.
Yeah, definitely.
Oh,
Walker.
Oh, Walker. Oh, what? Oh.
Stepping call there.
Katie Walker using all her talent that she has, even her back, as you can tell by her lats and her shoulder muscles that are popping.
So Tigers not willing to lay down and not fight. Which is what we would expect from the Tigers.
Yeah, it makes it a little bit more interesting, obviously, when the game's free. Oh, Tuala, unlucky there.
Yeah, great positioning, great elevation to get a hand to that ball.
Here we are, we're having a look at that. Great movement, just unfortunately couldn't kind of wrap up the ball there with her other hand. Oh, great drive there by Bachelor Door. Does not miss.
No, happy to go to the post.
Probably put the voodoo on her now.
But having 2, shooters that are, very happy to go to the post means that the Tigers defenders are constantly having to, make decisions about who they need to pick up. It's not, just a go-to shooter in one of them. They know that they have to do their job on both because both are capable of putting the ball to goal.
That last drive there by Maddie Grant was excellent to see. So she went to the ball once, got covered by a defender, went to the ball twice, got covered by a defender, and the third drive opened up on the baseline. So really well done to Maddie Grant. Great shot there by Tahara.
Shooter there by Bachelor, but I don't think she got any advantage in that pass. But happy to give it to Tahara to put it to goal. So Tigers willing to throw the ball around to get themselves into a better position for goal.
Ooh. Well done by the Wildcats defenders, just forcing the ball to be held up that little longer.
Yeah, they've done a great job tonight, the Wildcats defenders. They've been in everything and they've covered those repeated moves constantly to make the Tigers really have to earn the ball when they do receive it.
Right place, right time there for Claire Haig.
Yeah.
She'll take that stat to her name. Nice fast play there by Katie Walker and Maddie Grant. And great shot there by Amy Somerville. So back into four goals between the two.
So Wildcats a little bit bunched around this centre circle. Probably not. That's better there, just opening up and using the space a little bit more. At times they find themselves in the same place, same area of the court, which is easy for the Tigers to defend.
Oh, well done there.
Great contest there by Rachel Fanana.
Scared Jackie Russell out and taking the ball. over 2 channels of the court there. So very lucky in not getting that picked off.
Great feed there by Mai. Held the ball up just enough to allow the defender to come around and put it into the space. Bachelor putting it to goal again. So every time the Tigers get a sniff, the Wildcats are able to just pull it back a little bit.
Oh, wayward pass there. Bachelor just happened to be there and picks it up.
She's done it a couple of times tonight. She's kind of been at the right place at the right time, and the ball's almost fallen into her hands.
Bit of a stare-off between Lily Gribble and Alicia Tahara. That's the way Maddie Grant. Great shot there. She really demanded the ball there by Katie Walker. Didn't want to move off. Knew that she had the right space and the front hold. Just umpires setting the penalty again. Leah Middleton. Oh.
Smarty.
Ensuring that the umpire knows that she's well aware that she's out of play and she's given the right amount of space. Sticks up the big broad arms.
Oh, well done.
Oh, well done.
Tahara.
Oh, there we are. Bit of karma there.
Bachelor
being a good girl, being out of play.
Yeah. Bachelor probably just needed to take that ball strongly. It's probably waiting for the call, but needed to just take it.
Oh, well done there. Oh, very unlucky by Helita Vava. I would have let that play on.
Yeah, it was a great contest.
And Dora's had a sit-down moment, taking a breath. And here we have it again, a replay. Oh, clean. Play on. Just having a break in play. Ball's just gone off to the side.
So Tigers back in possession, only down by 5.
Great pull in there by Katie Walker. I mean, Somerville will like her chances and she gets it. So with 4 minutes to go, Wildcats are up by 4. Hopefully this kicks Tigers into gear, and really you can already tell their defence is, unfortunately, they're a little bit more heightened, a little bit more chat on court as well. So it's quite quiet on court. Not a lot of chat being thrown. Obviously, everyone's in their own little world and focusing on their own job, which is obviously understandable.
Yeah, definitely. Unlucky miss there by Amy Somerville, but a great rebound there for the Wildcats.
There's Katie Walker's booming voice. That's what I like to hear. Were you a chatter on court, Simi? Or were you a quiet player?
I was a
Can you
chatter.
remember when
I
you
can't
played?
remember. It was so long ago.
You were a chatter, yeah?
Yeah, not a loud voice,
Yeah.
but I was a constant
You like
voice.
to throw chat in other people's ears?
No, not like you, Dominique.
No, I was
No.
never I didn't throw chat at other people. I do like to obviously have words on court. It's generally directed at the umpires, unfortunately.
We don't condone that. Well done.
No, we definitely don't. I was quite a naughty kid.
I know, Dominique. I coached you. So the Wildcats have done a good job here to extend this lead. The Tigers will be ruining. They had 2 opportunities at goal that they missed that would have, reduced the gap and the lead that the Wildcats have, but they weren't able to capitalise on it. So the Wildcats have been able to push it out a little bit more with just, over 2 minutes to go. Oh, uncharacteristic mistake there by Katie Walker.
Should be working hard to get this ball back, I'm sure. Yeah, it's been the flavour of the game. One team gets ahead or a run on, and then obviously a bit of lost communication or a bit of slipping thought process, and then obviously the other team gets back in the game, and it's really kind of a ping pong match at the
Yeah,
moment.
it has been back and forward.
Is that the first miss of
I
Bachelor
know.
Dawn? Can't remember the last time she missed.
Yes, I know. I'll have to check the stats after, but it would be one of the few ones that she's missed at this game.
And hopefully that doesn't kind of decrease her confidence in going to the post. I'm sure it won't. But sometimes, obviously, with a young player, they get their first miss and they go, oh, no. Oh, great attempt there by Taylor. Just unfortunately went for the body, not the line of the ball.
The Wildcats did a great job defensively there. They made the Tigers have to pass all the way back to the centre circle. And all that extra kind of work that they're having to do will add up as the game draws to a near.
So with 50 seconds to go, Wildcats are looking to obviously extend their lead. Up by 6 at the moment. Tahara with a penalty pass shot. Unfortunately can't get it, but nearly gets her own rebounds. Maddie Cooley back on court and back in the thick of things, out of play.
Great pass there by Riley Batchelor-Dor, wanting to, make sure of the shot, so willing to offload it to Tahara to increase the percentage of that shot. Only 17 seconds to go. And
it was a really good hold by Tahara as well, really demanded the ball in the space. Stuck out her big mitts, not pits. Mitts and demanding the ball where she wanted. And she'll have a long shot. And
no goal. But great effort to turn and have a go at goal there. So as we go into, at the end of the third quarter, the Wildcats have extended their lead a little bit. They're up by 6 at the moment. And the Tigers definitely did have their opportunities in that quarter. At times they made some uncharacteristic mistakes, which is something that we're not used to seeing, within this particular group. However, I think credit should be given to the Wildcats for the defensive pressure that they're applying right across the court, but also those repeated efforts. And they're not just covering them once or twice now and then. They're doing it 3 or 4 times all of the time.
They're working very hard. And obviously getting rewarded with turnover ball to shot as well. So they deserve that 6-goal lead going into the fourth quarter. Obviously, as we take another break, thank you to our sponsors in HART Sport, Mizuno Shoes, Mount Franklin, Legassic Jewelers, and Powerade. Without you guys, we wouldn't be here. So join us back in a couple of moments.
So we're coming back into the fourth quarter here at the Queensland State Netball Centre. We are in the last game of the round between the Carina Leagues Club Tigers and the QT Wildcats. The Wildcats have won all 3 quarters of this game so far. They're doing a terrific job and are out by 6 at the moment. The the Tigers, on the other hand, have more than been in the contest, probably haven't taken all of the opportunities that they've created for themselves. But, even though it's, 1 quarter to go, Domi, I think, and it's only 6 the difference, I think it's anyone's game still.
Yeah, I wouldn't count out the Tigers to come back in a hard-hitting last quarter. Oh, not in that way, unfortunately. But, yeah, wouldn't class them out of the game by any means.
No, definitely not. The Wildcats, on the other hand, they just need to do what they've been doing so very well in these first 3 quarters and look to close out this game. I think they've been really smart with the ball, and their goalers have shown them that if they get the ball to them, they'll put it in the hoop for them.
Yeah, definitely. And obviously the 2 shooters for the Wildcats are really gelling together. Obviously, Tahara back at the post, being the tall shooter, and Batch Alador is obviously the moving goal attack, really taking that front space, demanding the ball at the front as well.
Yes, definitely. Wildcats have started with a bang here. The first couple of goals, Mads Cooley there had a look and was thought about coming out and probably should have and definitely could have, but by not, it allowed easy ball into Tahara under the post.
Great pass there by Katie Walker, obviously getting the tip off Vava's hands. And looking over the mess and seeing Amy Somerville at the back there. Have you been watching the World Cup, Simi?
I watched some of the highlights from some of the games this morning, but I do have it on record because of the games tonight.
Smart. So obviously Australia's been played against Zimbabwe earlier on in the evening, and they obviously had a convincing win over Northern Ireland last night as well. I haven't got to watch any of the other countries at the moment, but I hear Jamaica had quite a convincing win over whoever they played against.
They played against Fiji. We're trying to be funny.
Oh, no, I wasn't, but I will rub it in now. Well, there you go. So, obviously, for the people playing at home, Simi's obviously been and done that at World Cup. Captain, player, coach. Everything in between?
Yeah, no coach.
No?
For
Ball
Fiji,
runner?
But, water girl.
Water girl. Mopper-uppera. Obviously, that was probably one of your career highlights going to World Cup. Would it be, Simi?
Yeah, definitely. Fantastic opportunity, to play netball on the world stage against other countries and get a style, get a feel for kind of how netball is played, across the world is a great experience. So fantastic experience for our Queenslanders that are taking part, and Gretel Tippett and Stephanie Wood, as well as, like we said before, Lenora Missa, another Queensland girl that is playing for Samoa. So, fantastic because, Lenora in particular will come back and play here in the HART Sapphire series. So what she will bring back to this court will be fantastic, and is also a Wildcats player.
Yeah.
The Wildcats,
unfortunately,
offside rule there. So the Tigers are, starting to claw it back a little bit. It's still only 5, but great ball there.
Once again, great drive by Maddie Grant. She's really settled into the game quite nicely, back a goal shooter. It's quite hard for a young player to come on to, obviously, the game. I believe she came on at second quarter or possibly third quarter.
Yep.
And really take the shots. Oh, here we go. Turning of the table.
Yeah, look, the Tigers have obviously on a comeback. The Wildcats, on the other hand, have to remind themselves that they are in the lead. They're still up by 3.
Yep.
They've got...
Yep, here. Oh, I can feel it. Do you feel it, Simi? I can feel it. I think Paula Stewart will be wanting a timeout very shortly. She is looking very anxious on the bench at the moment. If I could read body language. Oh, okay. They just need to take a nice, big, deep breath in.
Yeah, we saw Paula there asking the players to just calm down, to do all the things that they've done so very well in these first 3 quarters and not get, influenced by the occasion or the crowd. They've, the Tigers coming back has definitely brought the crowd into the game, but the Wildcats have to just continue to do all those little things well.
Well done, Maddie Cooley there.
This is a great shot there by Batchador.
And here we go. There's the tactical timeout for Wildcats. So quite timely, obviously, as we were just discussing. The momentum did shift a little bit there. Unfortunately, obviously, the Tigers couldn't convert their turnover. So Paula Stewart's just, definitely telling them to take a breath, calm down. They don't have to do anything special. They do have the lead.
Yeah, no, when they've, worked the ball, been patient with it, used their vision, provided options to the ball, those little things that you need to do well in netball, they've, it's worked for them and they've got it to their goalers. And like that last shot that Batchelor just took, she will more than put it in the hoop for them.
Definitely. Yep.
The Tigers, on the other hand, they'll be, G'ing themselves up. They've, done a great job to pull it back, but, the job's not over. It's still a 4-goal lead to the Wildcats, but there is 9 minutes to play, so it's lots of time, lots of netball left in this quarter.
Yeah, we're just having a look at Tigers. I think they're going to do a swap. Leah Middleton going goal defence. Maddie Cooley staying on at goalkeeper. Obviously, we see Staggy there having a chat to her players as well. So Katie Walker trying to G up her players. I think she has a black eye at the moment. Thanks to her own player and Lexi Baker earlier in the game. Friendly fire. Fire. Great drive there by Schuster.
Yeah, she's got great speed, Schuster.
Oh. I think a lot of players are
confusion there about what happened. It looked like it was the Tigers touched the ball out, but it wasn't to be.
So Tigers don't have to force this. So obviously they do have time. It's not like we're a minute to go or anything like that. Here we go. Let's replay it. I can see where the umpire was coming from. She obviously saw that Taylor tipped it to the... Oh, here we go.
Fava probably needed to just go short in that one.
That's all. Yeah. It's very unlucky there. Obviously, Maddie Cooley just cooking it a little bit too much for Jackie Russell there. So Maddie Cooley will have to work quite hard.
Great touch there by Tahara. That was really clever.
Cucumber.
Yes.
Chador
there.
So Tigers just really need to keep running, don't stop on the ball, and don't get into chase mode, I guess. It's quite hard to not look at the score, but you really have to take that equation out of play. Great rebounds there by Amy Somerville. Chases her own missed shot.
Yeah. Tuala probably she did a great job to get up, but just needed to try and chase and regather.
So one to watch,
great hate there, and will keep really by Batchelor.
A great key matchup this quarter will be Jackie Russell versus obviously Gemma Maimai. Two obviously quite speedy, agile players.
Both players that have come back from the Suncorp Super Netball court. Yep. So we were hoping that we see them match up directly tonight, and we haven't been disappointed.
We have our wish.
So still 4 the difference. Wildcats in the lead, but Tigers in possession.
So that was a great quite good work off by Amy Somerville. She really went up to the body of Tuala and then obviously not pushed off in a sense of contact, but really moved her body well to get the advantage. Oh, well done. Oh, great defense by the Tigers there. Just needed to go in the outside arm there by Maddie Cooley. Katie Walker trying to zone Tahara out of the circle. Once again, Batchelor going to the post and converting that. So obviously with 6 minutes to go, Wildcats still have the lead by 4.
So Wildcats probably just need to do all they can to delay the Tigers going to shots. So not in an illegal way, but, you know, applying that defensive pressure that they had been doing so very well, you know, in the early part of the game. They also don't need to rush in getting their ball, you know, to goal. They do have the advantage in that they have the clock and the scoreboard. Great shot there again. The
atmosphere in here has changed quite a lot since obviously Tigers got that couple of intercepts, and you could feel the crowd kind of rise with them. So hopefully they... And we have it. So a warning, I believe, not a caution. So that's when the big cross comes up above the head of the umpire instead of the old one arm. So that means that obviously if Helida Vava is deemed to, I guess, contact or obstruct in a deliberate way, that she will be, I think, sent off to the sin bin. Do we have sin bins in netball?
We do.
Or the naughty chair, I reckon.
Yeah. Did you ever visit the naughty chair, Dominic?
I was never sent off, thank you. In my umpiring days, I did send off a player. Oh, well done. Oh, unlucky. Well done, Leah Middleton.
Yeah, well done. It was
Got up and over Tahara there. In between the arms there. Here we have it. We'll have a look at it again. Oh, beautiful.
Great, and unfortunately bounced through Jackie Russell's legs, so wasn't able to regather. But
oh, here we go.
Persistent contact or obstruction there by Tuala.
Oh, Maddie Grant just needs to... That's the way. Umpire's really stamping her dominance as well, her authority over the players, really telling them what she wants and when she wants it.
Yeah, look, which is great to see. You don't want to see a match like this, you know,
get out of hand.
Get out of hand and become...
Well done there by Tigers. Obviously, that was a bit of a step.
Yeah,
but anyway.
maybe it was a contact advantage call.
They've got to be very careful in the distance of passes. They're very small.
Great job there by the Wildcats. That defensive pressure that they've had so...
Unfortunately, can't convert the hard work down the other end.
No, almost the story of their night, really.
Yeah.
Their night's not over though. There's still 3 minutes to go and they're only down by 3, so it's still really anyone's game. You'd like to think that the Wildcats do have the advantage given,
definitely,
the position that they have themselves in the game. Just need to see if Batchelor chooses to pass.
Oh, great movement and great eyes by Mai. So Katie Walker obviously taking the centre pass for Carina League's Tigers. Oh, replay, yeah.
Play ball. Trying to get rid of the ball probably just a little bit too quickly.
Katie Walker's trying to run everywhere, be in everything.
Great vision there by Fanana.
Oh,
threaded
ball. Yep, threaded the ball. Saw the defenders looking down and chanced their arm and got through.
So Wildcats centre pass, 2 minutes to go, up by 5. You'd have to back them in at this point of the game.
Oh, I don't want to say it, but yeah, I'll put my money on it. Oh, Leah Middleton has another crack at through the hands of Tahara.
She's doing a great job, given that she's a little bit shorter, but she's getting herself in good position and willing to get up and over for the ball.
Tigers have no time to muck around in these last couple of moments. Just a footwork call, I think, from Schuster. Oh, Banana's vision is immaculate at the moment. Just looking over the space and really finding depth in attack.
Great touch there by Cooley, not willing to stop trying and let this ball. Another football call there by the Tigers. They're just trying to. They do need to be quick in their play, but they still need to be able to execute the basic skills.
It's that fine line between the two. Oh, great crack at the ball by Schuster. So with 50 seconds to go. Obviously, Wildcats are up by 5, possibly 6.
Oh, there rolls around.
Up by 6.
Up by 6. What do you think's been the difference in this game, Dom?
I think it's definitely the goal attack, obviously, of Wildcats. So Riley Batchelor has really commanded this game and really just had the confidence to shoot from any part of the goal circle. So I definitely think that's my defining, I guess, position or moment. And we have had a bit of a advantage call there. What about yourself, Simi?
Yeah, look, I agree. I think the shooting circle of the Wildcats has definitely been the difference, as we see that they are eventual winners by 7 in the end. Yep. I think they definitely, their ability to convert consistently at a high accuracy has been the reason, I think, why they've been able to, get away with this win. Both teams defensively were able to turn the ball over. But I'm sure the stats will help paint a picture as we have them coming shortly. Great win by the Wildcats, though, coming off a bye weekend. So sometimes that can be risky, having it so early as well in the season. They had it in round 3, so they'd only had 2 opportunities on court and then, had that bye weekend. So, I think they've come out of that, the bye weekend really well. We see Tahara and Milton there having some words, which is great to see. I think that's the thing about these competitions is that players are asked to play together at state level in the same team, and then asked to play against each other in the week-to-week competition.
Yeah, so hopefully we get some stats up on the board, and that really will, I guess, paint a picture of the difference between the two teams. Obviously, both teams will probably have a high percentage of shooting stats, but I think it comes down to probably that conversion rate will really tell the difference between the two teams. So as we have a look at, obviously, the huddle of the Carina Leagues Club Tigers.
Yeah, look, Katie Walker will be reassuring her troops that, whilst it was a defeat tonight, they did lots of, positive things, and they can take lots away from the game, that they definitely had their opportunities and put themselves in the contest. But it's early days, I suppose, from the competition point of view. It's only round 4. Sometimes you learn more from a loss than you do from a win.
Exactly,
and the Tigers accustomed to being on the right side of the scoreboard most games. To the Wildcats, however, we have to give them plenty of credit. They did a great job tonight in winning all 3 quarters, or 3 of the 4 quarters. If we look at their percentages here, I think you hit the nail on the head, Domi. It was really that turnover conversion rate in the end.
Definitely.
The Wildcats were able to score 80% of the ball that they got. The Tigers, on the other hand, only 62%. Looking at their shooting percentage, quite similar. Maybe Wildcats just a little bit higher on 88, but not by much, with the Tigers shooting on 82.
Yeah, and obviously looking at the turnovers, so once again, Wildcats actually had more turnovers than Tigers there. But like you said, Simi, that turnover conversion rate percentage of 62% is well below than obviously what Tigers will be hoping for. And that is, I guess, I'm going to highlight that as why they had the 6-point loss, unfortunately. So back to the drawing board for the Tigers for next week, and obviously Wildcats will take the positive of the 6-point win, as well as I think they did win all 4 quarters as well, so they'll take the
last quarter was a tie, I believe.
Oh, tie, there we go. So in a draw quarter, both teams get 1 point,
great.
Props to obviously Carina Leagues Club Tigers there, getting obviously one point.
Yes, so that concludes round 4 of the HART Sapphire series. We see just a recap of the games this weekend. The Cougars up in Townsville, I believe, victorious over the Rays. The Jets were able to take the game from the Bull Sharks this afternoon, I believe, and tonight we see the Wildcats claim victory over the Tigers tonight.
Yeah, so I think looking to round 5, obviously most teams nearly have played against each other. We're obviously, if we could get it up on the screen. No, unfortunately we don't have the next round fixtures. But yeah, so with the obviously ladder changing all the time, and you get, obviously, like we were talking about, you get 10 points for a win, so that really changes the ladder. Here we are, as I wish.
Magic, yes.
If I ask, I get it. Maybe I should take that into life, hey, Simi?
Definitely. So I think from the results now, with round 4 concluding, still has the Brisbane North Cougars on top of the ladder at 57 points, with Ipswich Jets in second, the QT Wildcats moving to third, and the Carina Leagues Club Tigers moved down into fourth. But really there's not much in it between particularly those first top 4 teams.
Yeah, definitely.
But as the points for not only a win but winning quarters and drawing quarters are up for grabs, I think that we'll see lots of movement over the ladder over the course of the season.
Yeah, and obviously with that bonus points, Brisbane North Cougars obviously on top of the ladder with 22 bonus points, and that's why they're sitting obviously on 57 as well, with so 3 wins, 1 draw and 0 losses at the moment.
Great. Well, that concludes round 4 of the HART Sapphire series. Thanks very much, Dominic Day, for joining me in commentary tonight from the Queensland State Netball Centre. We look forward to round 5 next week, and we hope that you will be watching the live stream and watching the fantastic talent that netball here in Queensland.
See you later, guys.
Thanks very much. Good night.